Hello dudes, and welcome to my very first vlog. My name is Martin, and for those of you who don't know me, I've been engaged with the pickup community for well over 7 years and actively going out for almost 1.5 years. This is my very first vlog because I finally do feel like I have some content which would be awesome to put out, or at least this is something I really want to talk about. And the topic I'm going at today is something I feel is really undebated within the pickup community. For those of you who don't know me, I'm currently in a probably long-term relationship with an exclusive girlfriend, and have been for 2 months. So it's kind of early in the process, but it does look like it will go on for a while. And this is important because having a girlfriend is very different to going out as single. And I know for a lot of pickup guys, they won't, I'm not going to use the word respect, but they won't pay as much attention to your, like your views or so on within the pickup community, because they think you tend to get lazy, you stop going out, your opinion doesn't weigh as much anymore. And I just want to say I still am going out actively. I'm still talking up chicks. I'm still approaching. I'm still working on my social skills, because even though I do have a girlfriend, that's not as important as working on myself. I know, and I have met a lot of people within the pickup community who say that they're dedicated to the process of like self-development, of learning. And I think a lot of people say this because it is viewed upon as the norm within the pickup community, that you do this to get better. But I think for a lot of guys it's also true, or in fact more true, that they do it for the girls or the women in this. I just want to add that I'm really in this for the self-development, which is also why I'm still going at it even though I have a long-time girlfriend. Because I do feel like game and self-development in general is so important that everyone should be doing it, whether inside the relationship, outside of it, or just like in every aspect of their life. So the topic I'm going at today is, as I said, something that is rather undebated within the pickup community. I do want to talk about the whole kind of like conflict of being whipped. And being whipped are naturally prerequisites that you do have a girlfriend, or someone that you are exclusive with, or in most scenarios are almost exclusive with, and kind of like an event leading up to the talk. And this is undebated within the pickup community for good reasons. Exactly that. We do pickup, we don't do relationship development. I do feel it's important though, which is why I want to touch upon it, and I think it's important enough that everyone should care about it. Like, as I said, improve yourself in all aspects of your life, including your relationship. Don't fall into the trap of like leaning back, relaxing, thinking it's all good. You do need some stimuli in your relationship. You do need to keep gaming, or like keeping your girl on edge. It's never really over. And if you think that, then I'm sorry, but you're probably whipped. So this is a topic I want to touch upon because I had an epiphany the other night, this weekend actually. So it's still kind of unchewed information, but it's something I feel is very exciting. So I think I'm gonna start with the have you ever had the accusation of like you're cheating with that girl, from someone you're about to get into a relationship with, or maybe have been exclusive with for a while? It's typically something that happens when the frame of the relationship has not quite been established yet, at least in my opinion. And I noticed that while talking to a great friend and longtime wing of mine, that this is something that's very, very different. Like, girls will handle this completely different, obviously, whether you're a beta or if you're an alpha. I know that makes perfectly logical sense, but hang on. So, if you're a beta, you're way more likely to get the accusation of you're cheating, because the girl is trying to like set the frame for the relationship. And my friend and Wing phrased it down pretty well. So he put it like this: the girl is only gonna accuse you of cheating if she's absolutely confident that she's not going to lose you. Let that sink in for a little bit. Alright, so what does that actually mean? That means that if you're a little bit more on the beta edge of, or the beta scale of things, she may throw this accusation at you to establish the frame for the relationship. And this is why I think this is something that often happens early on in the relationship, before the frame has been really solidly established. Maybe in that phase where you're still getting to know each other, or a little bit later. It's really interesting because girls are like way less likely to throw this at a guy who's on the more alpha side of the spectrum. I think, and this comes back down to what I just said. Like, she's only going to throw this at you if she's positive she won't lose you. So what characterizes a beta? He's someone who doesn't have a lot going on. He's someone who doesn't have a lot of options. And this is just kind of like putting it very roughly. Whereas a beta is on the other side of the spectrum. He does have a lot of options, and he possibly is a very busy guy having a lot going on in his life, which is a very, very attractive value. And if you didn't know that already, you should realize that. Having a solid life, a well-built life, is really attractive. Especially if you combine that with like social skills. And because like having a well-built life means you're passionate. Alright, but I do not want to stray off topic too bad here. So, women won't throw this accusation at alpha guys because they're on the end of having a lot of options. And she's not positive she's not going to lose this guy if she throws it at him. In fact, let's look at what actually happens. If I, as a girl, I come to you and say like, you're cheating, you're with that girl and that girl and that girl, what actually happens? If you, as a guy, as an alpha guy, do not care about that accusation, not care about me as a person, but like the accusation, like what am I actually communicating then? I'm just devaluing myself. I am not cool, I'm not lean back, I'm not, taking things, like it displays scarcity rather than abundance. Like, kind of like I can't reestablish a situation like this with a guy like you, basically. So she's just devaluing herself, and in turn, what does that do? That destroys her frame. That destroys her chances of setting the frame for the relationship. Whereas does she throw this accusation at a beta? He's more likely to kind of like not fight back because he doesn't have that many options, and he's probably the one living in a mentality of scarcity. So he's going to be the one like, no, I wasn't cheating. So he's making excuses, devaluing his frame, which in turn empowers her. Again, another reason I see this is something happening early in a relationship. I actually had this happen to myself. I'm totally not trying to brag here. The other night I was out with a wing of mine and a female friend and a few other gamers. And at one point in the night I do meet up with my girlfriend. I wanted to introduce her to my friend. So I introduced her to my friend, and while they're talking for like a little bit, like let's say 30-60 seconds, I just like I get approached by my female friend. I was in a different venue, I came back, she's like, oh hey Martin, all great, it's all good. But she comes on really like in a funny, aggressive way. She's like grinding on me. She like leans in really tight. Like she's in a good mood, like she's really flirtatious. Kind of like putting her lips closed, like as if she wants to kiss. And what I noticed happening is that immediately my girlfriend comes over and she says hi. But rather than like go to me and say like, hey Martin, who's this girl? She goes directly to the girl. Because if she had went to me, she would have devalued her own frame and she would have known that I could have just picked the other girl if I wanted to. But because I came from that, at least perceived mindset of abundance, she had to go directly to the girl in order not to devalue herself and her frame as a whole. She went directly to the girl and she's like, hi, introducing herself. So she's actually accomplishing two things here. She stays cool, or like awesome in front of me. while also kind of like dismantling the situation of me flirting with another girl, which she's not interested in. This is kind of funny how that changes so drastically from like being on either side of the spectrum. Like you have a beta who's like he's willing to fight like toes and nails and teeth for like staying in this frame, like staying in this situation with this girl who which is a situation he probably can't like make happen again. Whereas the girl coming from in that scenario coming from abundance, she can just get another guy. Here the roles are reversed. I'm the one with the abundance. She's the one with the scarcity, or like the more scarce mindset. Not necessarily scarce, but more scarce than me, at least in that specific scenario. And that resulted in this epiphany that actually led me to talking about this topic. And I hope this is all kind of clear. I know I've been kind of like going through it as gibberish. This is my first vlog, remember? So it's kind of like a practice run. I do want to put this content out here, but at the same time, this is a great tool for me to measure my own body language, tonality, speech, pace, everything, so on. But I do hope that we can spark a discussion based off of this, because I do feel it's quite an interesting topic. I think a lot of the relationship or like topics that kind of like sets the frame for relationships or pickup related but within a relationship are really undebated within the pickup community, because a lot of guys they leave the community when they get girlfriends. I know that for a lot of RSD people they haven't, so they have been putting out a lot of good content in that aspect, but I also have this maybe this is just my perception, but I feel like they're also not exclusive with their girlfriends, which is great. Like different opinions, different values. Maybe I'm eventually gonna end up at that same view, but I'm not there yet. But I do feel like it's very different to how it is going out as a single. So yeah, it's relatively undebated, and I hope we can spark a discussion off of this. So bring me feedback, either here on YouTube or various pickup communities. I am available in a few RSD Inner Circle groups, mostly in Denmark, but also a few in California, where I'm also attached to the pickup community from spending half a year there and possibly, hopefully, moving back. So yeah, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this content, regardless of how unstructured it may have been. So thanks for watching, and bye-bye.